As the nights turn colder, one of the pains of spending time in a van get worse. Condensation is a battle lots of van lovers suffer from. So stay with us and we will share our top tips for how to deal with it.
Over the years we've made quite a few purchases from Amazon and recommend a lot of products they stock. The flexible delivery, no hassles returns and ease of purchase works great for us. Well, October the 13th and 14th are Amazon Prime Days, 2 days of discounts and special offers exclusively for Prime members. To save you the hassle over the 2 days, we'll be scouring the offers and giving live updates on products we think will interest our subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and switch on notifications with the bell and we'll keep you up to date with any offers we find. If you're not already a Prime subscriber, you can sign up for 30 days free using the link in the video description. This will give you access to the offers on Prime Day as well as the other benefits of Prime membership. And if you don't want to keep it, you can cancel within the 30 days without paying a penny. So don't miss out on those Prime Day offers, hit that subscribe button now. Before we talk about how to avoid condensation, it's good to understand what it is. Here we could talk about dew point, relative humidity, absolute humidity and various calculations of condensation. But if you really want that level of detail, I'm sure you can look it up. So here are the basics. If you consider your van is a box, inside the box the air contains water vapour. That's just the way it is. When the temperature outside the van is colder than inside the van, the water vapour is attracted to and condenses on any cold surface it can find. So how can you stop this happening? Well, in reality it's going to be difficult, but what you can do is minimise it as much as possible. The two main ways are to insulate the surfaces and add ventilation. That way, some of the moist air can escape and be replaced with drier air from outside, and there are no cold surfaces for the water vapour to condense on. That sounds easy, doesn't it? But in reality there are likely to always be some parts of the van where the insulation isn't as good. That could be the windows, or maybe somewhere you couldn't insulate as well, or even at all, like the wheel arches, the bulkhead in the cab, or that panel behind the cupboard at the front. You can see from our thermal imaging that there are clear points where the van is less well insulated. So what you often end up with is one or two places where all the moisture will condense. So let's look at what are the things that make condensation worse. The two worst offenders we've already talked about. Lack of ventilation, although it seems counterintuitive when it's cold outside to open more vents, closing everything up thinking you will stay warm is going to give you a massive condensation problem. Poor insulation, as we've seen, will give cold surfaces for the moisture to condense on. The more moisture there is in the air, the more there is to condense. People and pets, through breathing and sweating, add lots of moisture. So the more occupants you have, the more ventilation you're going to need. Cooking inside is generally bad in two ways. If you're using gas to cook, the burning of LPG adds moisture to the air. Plus, if you're heating food, this generally produces steam. So yeah, more moisture. If you've seen my video on van heating options, you will know my thoughts on non-fluid glass appliances. But if you did decide to use one, just like gas cooking, they put even more moisture into the air. If you've not seen the heating video, you can click the link here or in the video description to watch it. Windows are often a site of condensation, glass ones are particularly bad. And finally, if you have wet gear from your recent ride, hike or ski in your van drying, then guess where all that moisture is going to go as it dries? Yep, you got it, into the air in your van. So what are our top tips for avoiding condensation? The obvious ones are insulate well and everywhere, have plenty of ventilation, and as the temperature difference between outside and inside increases, open more. Think about this when you're planning your build. How will you ventilate when it's raining, for example? Bottom opening windows or wind and rain deflectors on the cab windows can be a godsend in wet weather. With suitably fluid heating that doesn't introduce even more moisture to the air, you can create a drier environment in the van, helping to force the moisture out of your ventilation. When considering windows for your build, think about the materials you're going to use. The thermal properties of plastic double glazed windows far exceed that of glass, as you can see here in our thermal imaging video. This therefore massively reduces the chance of condensation. Where you do have glass windows, having close-fitting thermal blinds will help to stop the moist air getting to a cold surface. Again, you can see in our thermal imaging video that close-fitting external blinds were much more effective than internal blinds. If you want to see the full video, the link is here and in the video description. If you are expecting to have wet coats or gear to dry, let's face it, most of us will, consider where you're going to put them. Our washroom is designed with this in mind, allowing us to hang clothes sealed off from the main van with the window for ventilation and the hot air heating pipes into it. However, you may choose to use the garage at the back of your van or even leave them outside. Finally, you may have seen chemical moisture absorbers on the market, though they will do little to nothing when you are in the van as there's just too much moisture for them to cope with. If you are parking your van up empty, a few of these will help to collect some of the moisture out of the air, but don't expect miracles.
Well, I hope there has been something in there that helps you fight condensation in your van. Don't forget to keep an eye out for our live updates on Amazon Prime Day, where we'll share any offers we find that we think will interest you.